Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Lean Publishing tip of the day. As always, I'll begin with a little bit of housekeeping. Um, you can find all of these Lean Publishing tips of the day on our YouTube channel. There's a playlist there called Tip of the Day that should hopefully be relatively easy to find. They're all recorded, so you can watch them anytime, of course. And there is always also, let me just share my screen here, a blog post to go along with it. Oh, I've got to put it on the stage somehow. No, there we go. Let me try this again. Well, we're going to do it this way today. Okay. So, there's always a blog post that accompanies these tips of the day where you can find relevant links and things like that. You can find the blog posts on our website at leanpub.com/blog. If you can't find the one relevant to the video that you've just watched, right there on the blog kind of main page, you can click the magnifying glass at the top of the page there, and then you can, find the article and find all the links and everything like that. If you'd like learning about these tips of the day, we recommend you sign up for the Lean Publishing Daily email newsletter. It's you get, in addition to getting these every weekday in your email inbox, you'll also get some like interesting deals on Leanpub ebooks and courses and things like that. The discounts, I believe, in each of the emails last for about 3 days, so you don't have to decide right away if you're interested in buying anything. But it's just a cool way to get a kind of lean publishing tip or self-publishing tip, and to also get some potential deals and discover some new books and authors. So for today's Lean Publishing tip of the day, we're talking about creating a discount QR code campaign for your book. So I'm sure everyone watching is familiar with QR codes. They're these sort of funny looking kind of squares filled with squares that you can sort of point your phone camera at, and it'll take you to a web page. So we all became familiar with this probably during COVID with menus and in restaurants and things like that. So you, instead of having a paper menu, you would sort of point your phone camera at the QR code, and then it would take you to the website. So basically, a QR code is a way of using your phone to go to a website, a page on the web. And why is this useful? Why don't I just say go to blah, blah, blah.com? Well, because people aren't going to forget it. People aren't going to want to type it in, particularly if they're on their phone, they might not want to type it in. So showing a QR code is something easy. You can just kind of point your phone at it. You don't have to remember it. You don't have to write it down. These are also used on things like signs for, in the city where I live. If there's some new proposed public development, might be a big kind of billboard, proposed development for your area, and there'll be a QR code, so you don't have to remember what website to go to. And immediately right there, standing in front of the sign in the proposed development, you can maybe see a rendering of what the building's going to look like or something like that. So QR codes are very useful, and they can be printed out, which is actually very useful as well. So, for example, this is kind of a niche use of it, but people could actually pay you for a piece of paper that you've printed a QR code on for a discount copy of your book, or a free copy of, or whatever. The coupon could even be free, and you could actually sell, like at a fair or something like that. You could sell copies of your ebook that way by giving them a QR code that's unique for that sale. So, so that's basically the reason self-published authors sometimes use QR codes. Is like they might be at a conference, something like that, and they want to offer people a discount. The QR code might actually just take them to the web page for the book. Like, let's say if they're selling print books at a conference or a book signing and they run out, they might want to have something for people to go to. So you can use a printed out QR code for that reason. There actually are authors who use QR codes in their books to point people to, not for discounts or sales, but to actually point people to source material, which is a really interesting use of it. So instead of putting like a web link in there, you can put a QR code and people can point their phone at it. This is particularly useful if the supplementary material to your book is something you want someone kind of consuming on their phone. So if it's a video to accompany your book or your ebook or your course on Leanpub or something like that, that you might want people to watch on their phone, putting a QR code in the ebook that they can then just point their phone at if they're not reading the book on their phone, can be a very interesting thing. Now, the first thing that you're going to need to do is actually create a discount coupon link for your book. I've talked about this in a relatively recent Lean Publishing Tip of the Day video because coupons are such an important part of selling ebooks and book marketing. But if you go to your book overview page, and which anyone watching who's familiar with Leanpub will know that page, it's the everything page for your book when you're working on it in Leanpub and doing settings and things like that. You can go to the coupons page and create a coupon. It's relatively easy. You put in the discounted price, you put in the start date and the end date, you put in the maximum number of uses, or you just leave it blank for unlimited. You can add a note to self if you want to, and it's that easy to create a coupon. Now, the tricky thing is that once you've created that coupon, how do you get a QR code and associate the QR code with the coupon link? Well, the way to do that is to click on this link in this article, or go to our help center and just sort of search for a QR code. It's easy to find. Just Google Leanpub Author Help Center. Just put in QR code in there, and you'll find this article where we have a full like kind of explanation, including the history, a little bit of QR codes, that they're kind of like barcodes. And I believe we were originally created to label and track auto parts, which is just kind of interesting. And there's a bit of an explanation in background, but then you get sort of a link to a video with Leanpub author Daniel Schäufler showing you how to create coupons, which is really cool and fun. And by the way, if you're a Leanpub author and you ever want to submit a video that you've done of something that you've figured out how to do on Leanpub, please email us at hello@leanpub.com, and we'd be interested in hearing from you. And your video might end up being produced and put on our YouTube channel, and maybe have an article about it in our help center. We'd love to have more of that. So thank you, Daniel. Then at the end is the kind of meat of the article, where we show you how to create a QR code. We're using the service Bitly for this. These screenshots might be a little bit out of date. This article was made a while ago, but hopefully the process is sort of simple and kind of stable enough that you can follow these instructions to create a QR code. The main issue being, the main thing to do is actually having that coupon code link that you got from Leanpub to put in this destination URL. So basically what that means is if someone takes a picture of that QR code, then they will go to that web page that you put in there. In this case, it's going to be a discount coupon link web page. And it's relatively that simple. I hope you enjoy kind of trying it out. The article, by the way, it's on leanpub.com/blog. If you don't see it right there on the main web page, you can click the magnifying glass and find it. This video is also these videos are also recorded and saved in perpetuity. It's one of the reasons we do this, because there's a sort of permanent kind of evergreen helpful content for authors on our YouTube channel at Leanpub. If you're interested in learning more about these self-publishing tips and learning more about Leanpub, I highly recommend you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, there's new release videos and podcast episodes and launch videos and stuff like that. So if you're new to the sort of like self-publishing world and you want to know like how do other people approach it, what are the things that Leanpub can help me with, but more what are the stories of other authors and things like that and how they've approached writing, the Leanpub podcast is a really great way to learn about that. So I'll just stop my screen share here. Yeah, so thanks very much, everyone, for watching this video about how to create a QR code and discount coupon link and use that to boost your ebook sales. Like and subscribe and all of that. And if you have any feedback for us, please email us at hello@leanpub.com. Thanks.